My name is Marsel and I'll drive the Black Eagle. The Black Eagle's got a long story going back to 2004. So a friend of mine giving it to me. He just said, Marcel, I know how much you love E28, just have it. And it was white as well, but I had to change the way that the car was. I wanted to build something really unique. An E28 that not usually see on the road. It's been a restoration for 10 years. It's been a love and passion, hate. The way it stands there is just undescribable, and it's just had to be the car for me. I'm an engineer, I'm a fully qualified engineer in the motor trade. I work in the motor trade, and all the cars that we see in this modern life we're living, you see many cars that the money can buy in the shops, but you don't really see many cars that have been built from scratch. I really wanted to build something really unique. An E28 extremely modified, not to the top extreme, not really stupid extremely modified, but classy modified. Like have an E28 that you can drive daily, you can put your foot down, and you can enjoy the drive of it. And the way that it's been built from A to Z. When I first got it, I was driving it as it was white. I put a body kit, a Zender body kit back then, had metric wheels. I lowered it a bit. It was all right until the moment that the van decided to crisp both near side doors, and that was the moment I decided to say, look, it has to be restored. The plan was to restore it straight 535, but then this engine came up for sale, which it was an M106. M106 is a turbo engine fitted to the E23 745i. So looking at it, working it out that engine, that particular block belongs to that chassis. So going back to the modification idea, I wanted to modify and build a car that, with the running gear, that belongs to that chassis. Bought the engine, fully stripped it out, rebuilt it, put high performance liners in it, Fords internals. I mean, let's not get into the details, but the engine can take up to 2 bar of pressure, so it's really built well. I had a different turbo before, a smaller turbo, that blew up. So I decided to, in 2010, 2011, to sort of upgrade the engine again. So I put a big GTX 4202 on it, different management, different fuel injection system, and here it is. This is a car, the BMW E28 5 Series, right-hand drive turbo. You don't really see many of them. I mean, the engineering, the craftsmanship that's gone into that engine bay is just unreal. It's not enough words to describe it. I worked out that this turbo is the most comfortable turbo for that engine in terms of, I mean, let's not get into details, air ratios and all. The exhaust gases these engines produce, that turbo, GTX 4202, is just perfect for it. And now obviously being big, I had to make a decision whether just leave it under the bonnet or peek it through slightly and just cool the bulkhead and the dump pipe. The decision to make a turbo application on this particular engine, it was very tight. I mean, if you look at the dump pipe and the way it squeezes through the bulkhead on top of the manifold, and there's a steering box, massive steering box underneath. So all that engineering, all that craftsmanship that's gone into it, it's all down to the patient. Like, the engine's been in and out a few times, but we succeeded. I mean, it looks stock. We put up about 500 horsepower, between 450, 480, 500, but then we had some imperfection, boost leaks. They're all sorted, but it's run about 500 horsepower now with 1.1 bar. You put your foot down and there's a screamer pipe comes onto play. So most people think that's the exhaust. It's not the exhaust. It's just a screamer pipe. It's 2.5-inch screamer pipe off the turbo. My father's expertise, he's an engineer as well. He's helped me out to do this and to build the car. And at the time of the build, it was almost impossible to squeeze that downpipe through. And that is the key factor of the success. So of using the original BMW E28 parts, i.e. the manifold, the turbo housings, and design it to fit in the engine bay, and looks almost stock. I wanted to build something with BMW parts to look like perfectly factory fit. My dad admires it really well because he loves me, he loves my passion, he supports me, he helped me out with the engineering and the drawings. And one word he said to me, he said, "My son, you've got to be careful there because you've got a machine gun. You know, you've got to respect it because," he said, "it's such a powerful car and fast car you've built. One slight little mistake, the little mistake can cost your life and game over. So you really and truly you need to get used to it, drive it sensibly and enjoy the way that you think is safe to do so." So I could really go to an extreme power, i.e. like build these engines that we've seen, 1,000 horsepower, 800 horsepower, but it won't be drivable. It won't be that particular 5 Series that you could drive daily and you enjoy it, go out with your missus and all that, and go to shows. It would be more of a motorsport, fully motorsport vehicle rather than an everyday vehicle. Right, a lot of people wondering when we go to the shows what's underneath there. The tank, the way there's the tanks located in this 5 Series is quite big and it drops low. So where we've got a charged engine, we want a safe fuel supply. So I put twin Bosch 44s at the bottom of the tank, supplying it towards a fuel filter, fuel cooler. Then there's twin fuel filters, and then it goes all the way to the engine fuel rail. We say it's done. Yeah, the car's done, it's on the road, but it's never done, is it really? I mean, there's so many things you can do to it. I mean, having a turbocharged vehicle, there's always things to do, to adjust, imperfections, upgrade. I mean, I really think I need a different gearbox and a stronger gearbox. I mean, this car's got a dogleg gearbox. It's running a 1.1, 1 bar, you know, that's just the right pressure that the gearbox can take in terms of torque as well. Anyway, so really I want to put an M3 E46 6-speed box. As I say, there's so many things to do. Where do you stop? When I drive this car, I forget to breathe out. I mean, we put your foot down, the rear end squats, and you can hear the turbo because it's got a hole in the bonnet and there's no air filter. It's just a triple mesh in there, and then you can actually hear the turbo spool. Drop the window down slightly and then you can put your foot down, trust me. The excitement of that moment is that words can't be described, you know. I don't think I could really feel as good, as comfortable in any other vehicles than this one. It's just a special relationship, really.
Now you can follow your favourite YouTubers, publishers and citizens on Car Throttle. Just sign in with Facebook and join the fastest growing car community online. Click the eye in the top right corner and get started.
It was the panel beating, the customizing and the reshaping of things that I'd probably learned from being a kid, that, you know, playing with these bits and bats and changing things had probably made me want to, I don't know, I just like things being unique and different.